Rama Rama Hare Hare loud. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What's it? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone loudly, loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण
I'm checking out. She's really tense. She wants everything to go nicely. You do everything nicely so she can be relaxed. Okay. Yeah.
Om Anantamam Devajanaha Punantu Manasatyaha Punantu Vikrutani Jata Veda Suni Imam Om Ashtakam Om Uddate Vashatuna Kamadai Siddhi Videva Sarvatunaha Sapune Bhadrama Bataha Nema Bataha Om Asya Karmanaha Swasti Bhavantu Bhavantu Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Na Indra Vritasvaha Swasti Na Ho Brihaspati Dhatu Om Asya Karmanaha Rijatam Bhavantu Om Ridhatam Om Ridhatam Om Ridhatam Om Swastina Govinda Swastina Astananto Swastina Vasudeva Vishwadhatu Narayano Narayani Swastino Vishwadhatu Swastino Vishwadhatu Om Swastino Anjana Sutta Hamir Bhagavata Dhatu Siddhananda Kana Sarveshwara Dhatu Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Vishnu Bhai Satchidananda Krishna Adi Vishnu Hahu Karmadi Sarvikaryaha Krishna Karsnaha Mukham Prabhu Pujyaha Krishna Anadi Tasmahi Ajnanataha Vayaha Yan Mangalam Tallabhite Kritihi. So we'll do the Purusha Sukta Homa. And then the Vaishnava. Om Sahasra Siddha Purushaha Sahasrakta Sahasrapa Sabhumim Visuto Gritva Atatishta Dusangulam Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namamaha Purushayedam Sarvam Yadbhutam Yadbhavayam Utamrita Teshyana Yadhannena Tirohati Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namamaha Etavanasya Mahima Sapojagam Sapurushaha Adayasya Vishabhutani Saipadasya Mritadivi Om Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namamaha Taipada Urdha Udita Purushaha Padoshaha Bhavat Punaha Ato Vishwan Vyatama Krasanana Sameabhi Om Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namamaha Tasmad Virad Ajayata Virajo Adi Purushaha Sarjato Tairushaha Pashat Bhumim Atopuraha Om Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namamaha Purusena Havisha Devayagyam Avantanaha Vasanta Bhagyam Grishma Idma Saradibhiyam Swaha Krishnaya Idam Namama Saptasayan Paridhaya Trisaptasa Nidhakritaha Devayagyam Pandanaha Avadanam Purusham Pasum Om Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namamaha Yagyam Barhiti Prokyan Purusham Jata Agrataha Ena Deva Ajayantah Shadhari Sayasya Om Swaha Idam Krishnaya Idam Namamaha. You can do Kirtan also. So Tasmad Yagyata Sarva Bhutaha Sambrita Pasadachayam Vasukam Stakribhayabhyan Aranya Gramayasya Om Swaha Idam Krishnaya Idam Namamaha Tasmadasva Jayantah Yatatobha Idataha Tavoha Jagiri Tasmad Tasmajata Javaya Om Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namama Yat Purusham Vedhadu Katitabe Kalpayan Mukham Kim Astutam Bahu Ava Uru Padha Utkate Om Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namamaha Brahmane Asya Mukhamasid Bahuraja Natritaha Rupad Asya Vaishya Padabhyam Sudro Ajayata Om Swaha Idam Krishnaya Idam Namamaha Chandrama Manasita
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Gaura Nataraj, Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Part 5. Srimati Radharani Part 5. Part 5 is Radharani's playful pastimes. I thought the youthful pastimes were pretty playful. This is more playful than youthful pastimes. And this is a long presentation, so I'm going to begin by offering pranam mantras to Prabhupada first. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatadine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Honoring Srimati Radharani is a great pleasure. She's so important. We heard a very nice reference earlier where Krishna is speaking to Narada Muni, saying, please note for certain that without satisfying Krishna, without satisfying Radharani, there's no way that I can be satisfied. So, we want to satisfy Krishna, and to satisfy Krishna we must honor and offer our respects to Srimati Radharani, and somehow maybe she'll be pleased. Certainly one devotee she's very pleased with is Raghunath Das Goswami. He wrote a series of prayers, one of which is Vilapa Kushamandali. It's from the collection of prayers is called Stava Mala. Stava prayers. Mala, a string, or like a garland of prayers. And it's one section. And Raghunath Das Goswami, is just submitting himself again and again and yet again to Radharani. And he begins in the invocation by her dearmost associates, first Lalita, then Vishakha, then Lord Chaitanya, and then associates Rupa, Manjari, Rati, Manjari, and these various personalities he's offering his respects unto. And then there comes the Queen. The Queen, he's not saying her name, but we know who he means. O Queen, I shall never ask you for anything other than direct service to your lotus feet. I offer my respectful obeisances to your friendship. So he's wanting the position of servership. He's respecting the friendship and other relationships that she has with other devotees. I offer my respectful obeisances to your friendship again and again. May I find your service as sweet as nectar. May I find your service as sweet as nectar. Now there's Sanskrit that goes with these verses, but this is the mood of Raghunath Das Goswami. So he's a very wonderful Vaishnava to follow if we want to attract the heart of Srimati Radharani, which gives pleasure to Krishna and gets Krishna's favor. Here's a nice chart. We'll see this sometime, probably during the Sunday feast also. We see Srimati Radharani's name at the top. And many of you will know already, some of you may not know, she had a brother and a sister. He had an older brother. His name is Sridham. Radharani had a younger sister, Nanga Manjari. And of course, like everyone, she has a mother and father, Vrishabhanu and Kirtida. We heard a fair amount about Kirtida. Now let's hear a little bit more about Kirtida. Kirtida, we heard about Kirtida's grandmother, yes? Her grandmother's down there in the lower right corner, that's Mukhara. So Mukhara, with her husband, Indu, she had a number of children. Kirtida was one of the daughters. And then there was 3 other sisters, Bhadra Kirti, Mahakirti, and Kirti Chandra. She had 4 sisters. Her mother had 4 sisters, and an aunt. There's a list of the names. And over on the left side, that's her father, Radharani's father, Vrishabhanu. Vrishabhanu, please note one of the words is in colored, Chandrabhanu. So Vrishabhanu had 4 brothers, Vrishabhanu, Bhanu, Subhanu, Ratna Bhanu, and Chandrabhanu. Chandrabhanu had a daughter named Chandravali. So Chandravali, we heard this already, Chandravali and Radharani were competitors, transcendental competitors. The submissive Chandravali and the feisty Radharani. Radharani was the left wing, Chandravali was the right wing, and they each had their groups of gopis that were their followers. Just like Krishna's 2 chief queens, he had 8 chief queens, but in Dwarka, there were 2 chief queens. Who were those 2 chief queens? Rukmini, Satyabhama. Rukmini, she's the right wing. She was very submissive. Satyabhama was the feisty one. And there's a very interesting Rupa Goswami description of how Satyabhama is really Radharani, or Radharani's expansion. A very interesting narration. And then there's the grandmother, maternal grandmother of Vrishabhanu, Sukada, nice personality, and so forth. So there's the family tree. Big families, some of them. But Vrishabhanu and Kirtida had just 3 children, and Radharani was the middle one. Here's a little bit, you're going to hear a little bit now, this is a little bit more about Chandravali, who is the daughter of Chandrabhanu. So notice Chandrabhanu on the left side. That's one of Radharani's uncles. So that means Chandravali was like her cousin sister. In Karalagram, Chandravali stays with her husband, Govardhan Malla, a resident of Karala. Her father is Chandrabhanu. Her mother is Indrumati. The father of Chandravali is one of 5 brothers. We saw that list. The eldest one of the 5 was Vrishabhanu. So Chandrabhanu, Ratna Bhanu, Subhanu, and Sri Bhanu. Their bodily effulgence is equal to the sun, Bhanu. Along with Govardhan Malla, Chandravali sometimes stays at Sakhi Stali. Sakhi Stali. Sakhi Stali is a mysterious place in Vrindavan, in Krishna's Leela and the Gopis' activities with Krishna. Sakhi Stali. The Yukteshwari, the leader, was headed by Padma, stays at this place. So Chandravali has, we'll hear some pastimes where purposefully. Krishna, when he's with Radharani, he addresses her as Chandravali. He does it deliberately because it'll irritate her. So, oh, Chandravali. Excuse me, Radharani. She takes exception. There's another pastime when Krishna's supposed to meet with the gopis and he's late. And this is coming attractions. Krishna's supposed to meet with the gopis, he's late. Radharani sends a messenger, and the messenger is looking, where is Krishna, where is Krishna? And instead of finding Krishna, she finds Padma. And have you seen Krishna? Oh, yes, he's with Chandravali right now. Because Padma is, and she's like, really a little haughty about it. You're not going to find Krishna with Radharani. He's with Chandravali now. Then the messenger comes back and informs Radharani, and she becomes angry. It's just pastimes. Abhimanyu's mother, Jatila, and Govardhan's mother, Barundha, again and again place up. So Jatila places obstacles for Radha, and Govardhan Mala's mother, just as Jatila does, Barundha places obstacles for Chandravali to meet Krishna. Though every plot has to have some obstacles. It's a good plot. So here's some of the playful pastimes involving some of these personalities. The main personalities here are Radha and Krishna. And the pastime is called Mukta Charita. And there's a book, it's called The Pearl Tree. The book was written by Raghunath Das Goswami, the same one that wrote those nice prayers about being absorbed in Radharani's attachment. So here's the kind of like his preamble to warm up his audience, the reader of his book. For the purpose of increasing the rapturous delight of those divine persons, the celebrated devotees of the Lord, who are conversant with the science of the mellows of devotion, I will now turn the ocean, known as Sri Vrindavan, that the waves of nectar produced therefrom, namely the wonderful character and qualities of Sri Hari, thus causing the devotees to drown therein. Now that's very clumsy English translation. I'm sure the Sanskrit poetry is much sweeter. So here it begins. There's Subhadra in Dwarka. And Subhadra asking Krishna a question. They're in Dwarka. And the question that she asks has to do with her necklace. She has a pearl necklace. And she heard that some of these pearls on her pearl necklace came from trees. A pearl tree. And she wants to know, is that possible? Is it true that these pearls, some of these pearls came from that pearl tree? Where was that place? Krishna, hearing the question, gets absorbed in thinking about Vrindavan. He remembers that particular pastime, and moreover, he remembers the Vrindavan pastimes with the gopis, and he feels afflicted. He feels pain, separation from Vrindavan and separation from the gopis. But he tries to not show it. He answers, Priye, dearest one, the time has long passed since pearls were produced from creepers. At present, all pearls come from oysters. And he starts to narrate because she asked a question. In Gokula, that's where he was before he got to Dwarka, Gokula or Vrindavan, and then Mathura, and then Dwarka. So they're in Dwarka. in Gokula one day during the month of Kartik, there was a certain festival going on at Govardhan Hill, Viparalika. At that time, the residents of Gokula were carefully preparing all kinds of decorations and ornaments which were just suitable for celebrating that festival. It's like Govardhan Puja, a festival of lamps honoring Govardhan Puja, an annual festival in the month of Kartik in Vrindavan. So all over Vrindavan, they were making these arrangements. Amongst them, the daughter of Rishabhanu, Radhika, was seated within a courtyard constructed from Madhavi creepers on the banks of the lake known as Malyaharan. Now, it didn't show it here. I have a photograph of what that place is today. It's just like a really simple place. There's some little village people, little village girls, little village boys around the place. It just looked like a lake, a little pond. Malyaharan. That's the name of the place. Where in the company of her Sakis, Radha was preparing to make various ornaments from a collection of most exquisite pearls. So Krishna went to where they were, coming to know of these events from the tidings of a young parrot who is very aptly named as Vichakkana. Vichakkana was the parrot's name. And the parrot came to Krishna telling him what was going on over there at Malyaharan Kund. I immediately proceeded to that place with eager curiosity. So there's a number of nice paintings of Krishna with this very expert parrot carrying Krishna a message. There was this question, your question. But this is a message being brought to Krishna. It's the messenger service in Vrindavan. So, upon my arrival, I submitted with great solitude before Radha and her friends my petition. So he's making a request. I'd like some pearls. You're making garlands of pearls to use for this Govardhan Puja festival, and I'm requesting some pearls so I can decorate my two favorite cows, Hansi and Harani, names of Krishna's two favorite cows. That's a nice painting of Krishna's two favorite cows, and they like Krishna also. Hearing my request, the girls barely glanced at me. So he's narrating this to Satyabhama, and remained silent with seeming indifference. They just ignored him. At this point I laughed and addressed them once again. Hey, Sakis, because you've all recently attained the priceless touchstone of adolescent beauty, is this pride of yours blocking your ears? Please heed for a moment the matter which I am presenting before you, and which is amiable to you all. So they're a little startled that Krishna's asking the same question again. Lalita replied that she heard the first time. These extremely costly pearls, which are fit to be worn by the king's queens, are now deemed as just suitable for your cows and she-buffaloes? Oh, really? I know. Why shouldn't we just give you all the pearls so that you can decorate your cows? Sarcastic. Oh, you who are yourselves very attractive ornaments, you don't have to give me all of the pearls, but at least you should give me some of them, which factly are just perfect for decorating the four horns of these two most favorite cows of mine. So there they are again, Hangsi and Hadani. And the gopis have a response. There's their pearls. Lalita is between Lalita and Vishaka. Lalita has a sharp tongue. Lalita took the pearls of all the sakis, and while showing them to me with a big smile on her face, moving them around and around, saying, "Hey, Krishna, alas, what shall I do? There is not even one pearl here fit for your cows." I replied, "Oh, Lalite, oh, most clever one, just forget it. Henceforward, you'll never be able to call me a miser." So Krishna is very clever. What Krishna decides to do is to go to Mother Yasoda and ask Mother Yasoda for some pearls so he can make a pearl garden, to grow pearls in his pearl garden. That's the plan. So he comes to Mother Yasoda. She's busy like everybody else because of this big festival. After reproaching them, immediately came to my mother and told her, "Janani, please give me some pearls. I want to plant them in the field." And she's amused. I request her again and again in this way, and finally, after listening to my eager request, Mother laughed loudly and replied, "Vatsa, my darling, pearls will never sprout if you plant them." And Krishna doesn't take no for an answer. I said, "Janani, you must give me some pearls." You know, the way Dina Bandhu tells the story, it's just like a little child nagging his mother. And the little child nagging his mother, the mother brushes him off, and he keeps asking, and keeps asking. Within 3 days, definitely they will sprout. This you'll be able to see with your own eyes. And she loves her son. And so she couldn't refuse. She gave him many of her most valuable pearls. That's the mother's love for her son. Here she is, taking pearl necklaces and giving him pearls so he can make a pearl garden. So then what did Krishna do? Before he went to make his pearl garden, he went back to the gopis and asked gopis for milk. He wanted to grow his pearl garden with the best of the milk, and he was asking them for milk because they're well known for being bearers like of those pots on their head. That's their dairy products. After milking the cows, they're going to the market. While I was busy engaged in seeding my freshly prepared beds with pearls, some gopis happened to pass that way and made their presence known by their loud laughter. This I nevertheless managed to completely ignore. He's starting his little garden. Hereafter I devised a plan where the gopis would be induced to come to me to beg for pearls. I sent some of my friends to them to request some milk for the purpose of watering my pearl plants. And guess what the answer was? Your pearl garden is too good for our milk. You have so many cows, you take some of the milk from your cows. You're so fond of your cows. Take some milk from your cows and you can use that to water your pearl garden. That was their reply. Of course, they only laughed very loudly and replied, "Our milk is not suitable for such a noble purpose. Rather, you should use the milk of those cows for whom you are going to such great lengths to produce a quantity of pearls." Now, this particular painting is another pastime altogether, which we'll tell another time. It's a well-known pastime that happened at Varsana. Sankari Kaur. Some of you have been to that place in Vrindavan, in Varsana. Accepting their advice, we Krishna and his friends, proceeded to water those plants with abundant milk from our own house on a daily basis so that they might see what we were doing. So he wanted them to check out what he was doing. And sure enough, 3 days later, guess what? Some sprouts came out of the soil where he planted the pearls. And he was really excited. Really excited. And not only that, after a few more days, on the 4th day, all of those multicolored and most fragrant pearls began to sprout. Not only the plants and the little shoots, but the pearls showered on the plants themselves. Seeing this, I was extremely delighted and ran to tell Mother. So he's narrating this to Satyabhama in Dwarka. So there's some nice painting. There's some white, looks like pearls. There's some purple, looks like pearls. Pearls. He brought his mother, and she was shocked, catching hold of her. Sorry, I brought her there and showed her the new sprouts. She was quite surprised and simply exclaimed, "What's this?" Considering the whole matter within her mind, she returned to Braja full of suspicion. However, when the gopis received this news, they simply laughed among themselves, saying, only ferocious creepers of envy were sprouting. They weren't pearl trees. They're thorn trees. Foolish Krishna. However, in the space of only a few more days, the heavenly scent which drove the bees mad began to emanate from the flowers that had now bloomed, thus pervading the whole of Gokula with their fragrant perfume and bestowing upon the gopis an inexpressible joy. So it's not just pearls, it's not just something growing besides thorn trees, because thorn trees don't produce flowers. They don't produce fruits. They produce thorns. So now there's not only the trees with pearls, but this wonderful fragrance. All of those pearl fruits assumed such an uncommon beauty. More so, in fact, than the 8 kinds of original pearls from which they derive their existence. So there's a list in this narration. Mukta Charita is the title of the book. Raghunath Das Goswami is going to give the list of those where pearls normally come from. Oysters, and there's some other places. Seeing that all of these creepers had produced pearls, the Vrajvasis were amazed. Specifically, the gopis were especially dumbfounded with astonishment. They now came every day to see these wonderful plants. So guess what's going to happen next? They want to have their own pearl garden. We're going to show Krishna. They began to consult amongst one another. Hey, Sakis, now it is a well-known fact amongst us that Krishna will never give us any of his pearls, because previously when he requested some from us, both the pearls and milk we refused to comply. He's never going to contribute anything to us. Why should he give us his pearl fruits? But what does it matter? They're going to grow their own. It's not that we didn't witness the procedure for growing pearls. In fact, we have seen exactly how it is done. Therefore, giving up our lack of courage, why shouldn't we begin a pearl field, which is at least twice the size of Krishna's? Krishna chose a very special place by the side of the river Jamuna, and there's a whole nice description of where he did what he did. And then Lalita, very smart Lalita. My dear friends, who are now overwhelmed by insanity, these sorts of miraculous activities, such as picking up Sri Govardhan and producing pearls from the earth, marvelous deeds which are difficult even for demigods to perform, are nevertheless accomplished without any effort by Krishna. Even though you are aware of all these things, still you're desirous of persuading yourselves to undertake this work, though none of you possess any such mantras or magic potions. This will end and the most certainly amount to nothing more than the cause of your falling into the ocean of embarrassment and ridicule. She's pretty strong against it. But Nandimukhi has a different idea. Sakis, please don't think that anything is impossible as regards this matter, because it is all due to the natural influence of the soil. In Vrindavan, golden trees have grown and are growing, visible before our eyes, with new twigs made of coral, fresh green emerald leaves, buds of diamonds and pearls, and fruits made of rubies. Therefore, if pearls are planted in fields in Brajabhumi and are seen to produce creepers which bear pearl fruits, what's so strange and wonderful about that? She's persuasive. Radharani agreed with Nandimukhi. So Radharani made a mistake, a transcendental mistake. She requested the Gopi friends to go to their homes and ask their mother for some pearls, like Krishna did. You do. And so they didn't ask their mother for pearls. They broke in their storerooms and took some pearls. Little transcendental thieves. So they could start their pearl garden. They watered their plants with the milk and ghee from their homes. But their field only grew thorn bushes. It didn't take many more days, however, before the plants in Radharani's and her friends' fields, as well as the ones that the other gopis' fields, clearly exhibited symptoms of being thorny creepers. Coming to know of this myself, for Krishna knew, he's telling Satyabhama, I conveyed my congratulations by way of a few slightly sarcastic remarks. I hear that your fields have produced many wonderful pearls by now. So, since I am deeply beloved of all of you, I hope that you will send with my friends as a presentation to me the first pearls produced from your gardens. You know, they know that he knows that it's no pearls. He's just being sarcastic. Thereafter, I began to decorate all of my friends. So Krishna goes on this binge. He not only decorates his cows. You know how many cows Nanda Maharaj has? 900,000 cows. He has his two favorites. He decorated all his cows and calves and his friends and the she-buffaloes who pull carts, the sheep with their lambs, the female goats and their kids, and the female monkeys. There's a lot of monkeys in Vrindavan. He decorated all the monkeys with pearl necklaces and all the peacocks with pearl garlands and pearl ornaments. He had a lot of pearls in his pearl garden. And here's a nice picture of one of those cows decorated with Krishna's pearl necklace. So they decided, the gopis decided, we've got a problem. We've taken all these pearls from our parents' treasury and we have to replace them. We're in big trouble. So let's go ask Krishna for some of his pearls. Guess what? They decide, there's Lalita with her hands on her hips, and behind her is Vishaka, she's dressed in blue, and then there's Radharani behind all of the up front gopis. And Krishna's holding up one of the pearl necklaces. Then there's another golden box with some more of the pearls, and another golden box with some more pearls. After some deliberation, it was decided that Chandramukhi was very cunning by nature, should take a sufficient amount of gold and go to Krishna and bring back the pearls replaced from their mother's storerooms. Chandramukhi and Kanchanlata arrived at a garden house within the pearl fields, carrying with them abundant quantities of gold. So there's the two girls. There's their gold coins in the golden box. And they called not Krishna but Subal. We have heard from reliable sources that you are desirous of selling your new pearl crop. Therefore, please accept all of this gold, which is of the purest quality, and give us in exchange the proper value by presenting us with a choice selection of your pearls. Is Krishna going to cooperate? He's got him. Krishna first refused to give or sell any pearls to the gopis. After discussing and deliberating with his friends, Krishna agreed to sell the pearls for a price that he would quote. No bargaining. But they're Vaishyas, Vaishyas have to bargain. So Baal asked, what price did you want to quote, Krishna? He has a very interesting price. With a playful smile on my lips, I replied, if the chief amongst this battalion, Sri Lalita, is able, by exhibiting the prowess of the most vigorous amongst us, he even once pinned me, the lion amongst men, down in a wrestling match, in hand-to-hand combat, then I will come before her as a woman, appearing just like a submissive and dependent wife. I will sing the glories of her manliness and virility. I will in this way become her servant. This is a small payment I will receive from her. Subal asked, but he's the negotiator on Krishna's side. Now, how will Lalita, who is softer than the softest young girl, contest in battle such a wild and untamable character as you? And Radharani's hearing all of this. My friend Subal, you have spoken truthfully. Most of the time, and in most cases, I am as you have described me. But in front of this girl, Radha, since from the very beginning the most forceful and intense manner, this Radha, who is strangely wonderful in all of her diverse ways, and so wise and intelligent, has on many occasions simply by her eyebrows, which like two fierce bows completely stunned me. He's honoring Radha in the midst of this debate and negotiation. In this way, the pearl pastime continued. So they're bartering. There's further, this is Mukta Charita, the title of the book. And Raghunath Das Goswami has this talk going back and forth and back and forth. And they're honoring one another, but they're playing hard to get on the other hand. So there's Krishna, and the girls feel defeated. So Krishna start to feel, he sees that they're feeling very sad. So he says, you know what? I'll make a pearl necklace just for Radharani. Then his mood swing goes the other way. Not only I give a pearl necklace to Radharani, but I'll give a pearl necklace to all the gopis. And not only that, I'll give a pearl necklace to all of their cows. And you know that, not only that, I'll give to all of their peacocks. And so he gets in a very generous mood and starts into giving away his pearls. So many pearls, they're feeding the swans. And then the gopis are so pleased by the generosity of Krishna that they have a big feast. And that's how the drama ends, Mukta Charita. So the gopis get back the pearls that they took from their mother's storerooms. And Krishna's captured the heart of Srimati Radharani once again. Lamenting with tears streaming from his eyes, Sri Krishna became completely overwhelmed by remembering his Vrindavan pastimes and fell down on earth. He again and again called out, Pran Ballave, Satyabhama, you please become Sri Radha, the only medicine that can save me now. Feeling intense separation. Satyabhama said, Hey, Prananath, oh, you who are the one and only life in the residents of Vrindavan. Oh, all glories to you, all glories to you. Please be patient, be comforted. She's trying to pacify Krishna and his loving mood. And there's Raghunath Das Goswami. He's maybe you recognize, he's holding a Govardhan Shila that was given to him by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here's how he completes the book. With bunches of straw in my teeth, I pray again and again that I might repeatedly take birth as a particle of dust of the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. I have been incited and excited by his nectarian direction to prepare this bouquet of flowers called Mukta Charita. Only by his teaching has this become possible. Oops, I went backwards, sorry, excuse me. By this bouquet of flowers, Mukta Charita, that has somehow or other been astonishingly arranged by me, may the followers of Sri Rupa Goswami decorate their ears, and in so doing shower some of their affection on me. Life after life, may I obtain here in Braja the association of Krishna Das Kaviraj, on the strength of which I was able to make known this most wonderful story about the superior type of pearl. That's how the book ends. That's not the fullness of the book, but it's a very nice Leela. A very interesting pastime. There's a number of other interesting pastimes which we'll quickly narrate. One has to do with Krishna's painting the lotus feet of Radharani. We're going to see a number of paintings. You've probably seen such paintings. Krishna's at Radharani's feet and decorating her feet. One of the principal sources of this is Ujjvala Nilamani. That book, Ujjvala Nilamani, is part 2, or the graduate study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It has to do with the nature of love between Krishna and different associates of Krishna. So when it comes to the qualities of love of the gopis in their relationship with Krishna, there's one particular term called Sandina Bhatrika. So varieties of heroines, and then her quality is she who keeps her lover close by and fully under her control is a Sadhina Bhatrika, heroine. A domineering girl who enjoys pastimes with her hero in water sports, forest walks, and picking flowers. So Radharani has such a quality, and that very same quality is mentioned in Raghunath Das Goswami, who is a follower of Rupa Goswami, but he uses this term in describing. There's Krishna at Radharani's feet, decorating her feet. When Radha controls Krishna so completely that he is unable to give up her company, she is known as Madhavi. So Krishna likes this position. And sometimes when Radharani is very angry, Krishna has to come into disguise. He has many disguises. One of these disguises is he comes as a female. And he is she, and she's at the feet of Radharani, massaging Radharani's feet and saying nice things to Radharani and to gain Radharani's pleasure. And Radharani is pleased by the mannerisms and the speech and the character and the kindness of this young gopi that's at Krishna's feet, Radharani's feet. There's a whole story. There's 3 different stories that go with that. There's a description, among many descriptions. There's one where Krishna is wanting so much to have Radharani's association, and it's not just the obstacle of Jatila and Katila and Abhimanyu. It's Radharani has become angry with Krishna. So Krishna asks different people what to do. In this case, he's asking Vrinda Devi what to do. And Vrinda Devi says to Krishna, she's very angry at you. You can't go dressed like this. You have to go just disguised as a brahmana. Get rid of your cowherd boy uniform and get a brahmana outfit and claim to be a Brahmana from Mathura, and you'll go begging door to door. And because Jatila is a religious lady, she won't be able to refuse you. And she'll accept your position as a Brahmana if she wants to give charity, and you insist it has to come from her daughter. So Krishna does that. He dresses as a Brahmana, he comes to the door. Jatila is ready to give, she's impressed like anything it's seeing. So Krishna says, I specifically want alms from your daughter. And when she asks for alms from the daughter, Radharani says to Jatila, I'm sorry, but I don't look at any man other than my husband. I won't go. I'm fully chaste to my husband, your son, Abhimanyu. And Jatila is on her case. Look, it'll bring destruction to our whole family if we don't honor a Brahmana properly. You go once. She's instructing her many, many times. So finally Radharani agrees. Jatila makes a nice plate filled with this and that, and some wheat and some grain and some this and some that, and gives Radharani the plate. And Radharani comes before Krishna, and Krishna says, that's not the kind of offering I want. I want your man. So immediately Radharani understands this isn't a Brahmin, this is Nanda Maharaja's son, Krishna. So she takes the whole plate and dumps the plate on his head. Krishna received special alms from Srimati Radharani. And she smiled and turned and left. Then there's another similar pastime. This one is from an unknown place. But the source of this pastime I'm about to narrate is Gaur Govinda Maharaj. And I wrote a letter, didn't get a reply yet from Madhavananda. Some of you know who is Madhavananda. He writes this Bindu magazine, and he's a very faithful disciple of Gaur Govinda Maharaj. He lives in Bhubaneswar, and et cetera, et cetera. He didn't reply it because I wrote to Madhavananda saying, I asked Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj, I'm sharing this openly with you, I asked Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj, do you know the background, the source of what you see on the screen here? This is Krishna coming dressed as a mendicant with a certain musical instrument. And here's the picture. Do you know the history behind this and the source of the history? And he sent back a message saying, I know that 10 years ago I spoke this in a public forum. It somehow made its way into the social media of India ISKCON, and I got back a whole bunch of letters 10 years ago saying there's no such story like this. It's Gaur Govinda Maharaj's made-up story, and they were like dumping on Gaur Govinda Maharaj. So he said, and since then I haven't spoken on this story. So I'm going to speak on this story because I'm not popular like Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj. And I have full confidence in the fidelity of Gaur Govinda Maharaj. He's going to tell us, narrate a history of Krishna's pastimes. There's a source, and they may not know the source, but he does. And he's not around anymore to ask the question, so just leave it at that. So I'm going to narrate the story. But the source is Gaur Govinda Maharaj. So the story, it's printed in this Bindu magazine, some years ago issue. If you're really interested, I can get a copy or make a digital copy available. But there's details and details. And Krishna has, Radharani is supposed to meet. This is that pastime I started to narrate. Krishna is supposed to meet Radharani. There's a rendezvous time, and Krishna is not showing up. So Radha sends her messenger. The messenger meets Padma. Padma says, sorry, but Krishna's with Chandravali right now. She's got her special place, and that's where Krishna is. Knowing that that's going to irritate the heck out of the gopis, the other wing of group of gopis. So she comes back and tells Radha, gives the order, that's it. Don't let Krishna enter. If he does come, no entry. He's banned from coming into my presence. So in this case, it's Vishaka. Vishaka has a sharp tongue. It's like, get out of here. Krishna does come. Get out of here. There's no welcome sign for you. Get out of here. So he's sent home. And he's like, he wants to meet with Radha. And so he goes to Purnamasi. And Purnamasi and Vrinda cook up a nice plan, that this is the plan. Don't go dressed like the cowherd boy Krishna. Go dressed like the mendicant Brahmana. And you can sing nicely. Here's a musical instrument. You sing this nice song glorifying Radharani. Just go sing this nice song. And they're young girls, and they're very respectful to Brahmanas, and you're honoring Radharani using your musical instrument, your singing ability. So he came, and they allowed him in because he wasn't Krishna, dressed in a cowherd boy outfit. And he wanted to collect alms. So when they came forward and offered the regular kind of alms, he said, "No, I want Radha Prem. That's what I want." So immediately Radharani understood Krishna's trick once again. But she was very pleased because the extent to which he had undergone. And there was some nice exchange there's some verses in this narration that Gogravinda Maharaj gives. He quotes some verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita, glorifying Radha and glorifying Krishna. And Radharani's very pleased. So her anger, her man, is withdrawn. And they associate with one another in a happy mood. One more narration for this evening, and then it's going to be time for the arti, for the deities. So the arti place for the deities has to appear shortly. There's the history of Manasi Ganga. You all know what is the Ganga, and you may or may not know what is Manasi Ganga. Manasi Ganga is a place by the side, right in the middle portion of Govardhan Hill. You can see from both sides, particularly if you're walking on the east side of Govardhan Hill, this is what you'll see. And the circumstance of the formation of Manasi Ganga was a demon sent by Kamsa came in the form of a calf to try to kill Krishna. He was a demon, but looking like a calf, and Krishna immediately detected. He told Balaram, "See that fellow over there? That's not a calf, that's a demon." He tipped him off. And then the demon came and with his hoofs wanted to kick Krishna, so Krishna he twirled him around and tossed him in a tree. And because he had killed the demon when he was in the form of a calf, the cowherd boys refused to play with him until he bathed in the Ganga. So Krishna wasn't going to go all the way to the Ganga. He brought the Ganga to where he was. Not wanting to leave Vrindavan, Krishna meditated upon the Ganga within his mind. She manifested before him Ganga Devi herself, and he manifested Manasi Ganga. Manasi Ganga. And then there were some persons doubting, is this really Manasi Ganga? So one time Garuda was carrying a snake in its claws, flying over the Ganga, when the tail of the snake, dangling snake, touched the Ganga, and the snake turned into a four-armed form. Amazed, Garuda then placed that divine being on his back and took him to Vaikuntha. The snake that was his food became a Vaikunthavasi, resident of Vaikuntha. And then comes Manasi Ganga. So Manasi Ganga has the same potency. And so it's a very purifying place, one who takes one's bath in the Manasi Ganga. So Manasi Ganga is situated on the eastern side towards the center of Govardhan Hill. So sometimes the gopis, they have dairy products, and sometimes in addition to what dairy products they need, they take the dairy products to a marketplace. And sometimes to get to the marketplace, they have to pass through the Manasi Ganga. And one time when they went to pass through Manasi Ganga, there was only this rickety old boat. And they were a little worried. How are we going to cross the Manasi Ganga in this rickety old boat? So the boat driver showed up and said, I'll take you across. And guess who the boat driver was? And as soon as they got in the boat, by Krishna's mystical arrangement, the big storm came, and the big waves in Manasi Ganga were formed. And Krishna said, "This is very dangerous. You're going to have to throw all your dairy products over the side." And then more water was coming in the boat. You have to take all your jewelry off. See them reaching to take their jewelry off. Too much weight in the boat. And then finally when he said, all your clothes are soaking wet, you have to throw your clothes off the side of the boat. I said, wait a minute. What kind of a boatman are you? And so they lurched forward and grabbed the boatman. When they grabbed the boatman, they found his flute. And then they knew what was going on. And Krishna smiled, and the storm subsided, and they made a very safe boat crossing. There's a pastime involving Radha and Krishna and Manasi Ganga. Of course, that's a much more elaborate boat than the other rickety boat you saw at the very beginning, but that's the boat pastime, crossing the river. And then they enjoyed their exchanges together. By the side of Manasi Ganga, there's Radha with Krishna, enjoying with a full moon, of course. And that's our narration for this evening. That was only part 5. We have a few more parts to go. If you want to hear some additional pastimes of Radha and Krishna, stand by. Now tomorrow at the Sunday feast, it's not going to be this kind of narration. It's going to be 101. Some of the Radha Tattva, and very simple. We'll hear a little bit about the pearl pastime, because there's going to be some newer people there. But that's okay. Hearing Radha's name and hearing her pastimes, and it's all transcendently nice. So any comments or questions before the deities manifest for our arti? And if we just want to go right into arti, we'll just go right into arti. That's fine with me. Let's do that. Okay? The arti is going to be over there? No kidding. Let's go.